Hi everyone and welcome back. So today we have a little bit different of a video. Sorry, my voice is kind of scraggly. The weather's starting to change. So today we have a little bit different of a video, and I didn't want to make this video, and I really thought about it for a long time, but I thought, you know what? We're going to make this video, and I seen something disturbing earlier, and today we're going to talk about Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me. We're going to throw a little bit of Amberlynn Reed on at the end, but mostly this is just going to be about Foodie Beauty. But I do have an interesting tidbit that could make sense to a possible things about Amberlynn. So let's get started here. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, she switched her name a while back. She is a channel that considers herself a weight loss channel, a weight loss journey. And I do that because I throw the word weight loss lightly in there. There is no weight loss, it is only weight gain. It's a cycle of diets, binging, diets, health things, mental health thrown in between. 1 minute it's like, oh, I want to change. 1 minute it's like, screw it. I'm going to eat whatever. Leave me alone, guys. 1 minute then it's, please hold me accountable. So today we're going to talk about some things, and this is throwing no shade. This is just my opinion. This is what I think about the situation, comments that I read, things I see everywhere. So Foodie Beauty, we're going to call her Chantel. Sometimes she'll disable her comments. She'll block people. She'll call them haters like Amberlynn does. So basically, if you're not patting her on the behind and, saying, oh, you look beautiful, your makeup looks beautiful, she just pretty much ignores you or blocks you if you try to give her any sort of advice or any sort of, criticism, any kind of help even. So, this video isn't about me, but we're going to get to a little bit of me in this video to kind of help us through, to make you realize that I understand some of these things, that I'm just not throwing this in, or I don't know what I'm talking about. So me personally, myself, now, I'm not trying to trigger anyone with this. I'm not trying to poke fun of, because believe me, I've got a handful of things myself and I struggle with it daily. But I'm just getting to show you this information so that you know that I have a background with this. I deal with this myself. But the key factor is I get up off my tail and try to do something about it each day. I've been diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, social anxiety, and severe depression. Dysthymia. Dysthymia is a depression that you have that it can last for months. It can go away. It's just a severe diagnosis of severe depression. A couple years ago, I just figured all this out. I got diagnosed. I've had a past history with, abuse. I am a recovering addict. I don't, so let's just get this. We're not going to do this as a fest. You're a drug addict, a recovering drug addict. We're not going to do this because I've changed my life around 100%. Any of you guys out there, if you're struggling with it, I'm here to help. Let me know. I have battled with it all my life. I have had a kind of bad childhood. Some things were happening to me in my childhood. We won't get into that. That's a whole other entity in itself. But let's just say some things that happened to me in my childhood led to things that I didn't know how to deal with as I became a teenager and an adult. Unfortunately, I took the wrong path. And now today, I'm changing my life around. I'm getting older, and, it's like I'm restarting my life basically. So let's get into this. So what I'm saying is I go to the therapist, psychiatrist, I was prescribed meds. There's no magic pill out there. There's no magic surgery. There's no magic fix to all of this. If you're suffering from something, you have to figure out in your heart what is creating that. What is, coaxing that addiction, excuse me, I don't really know the word, feeding that, why maybe you eat, maybe you have, a food disorder, maybe you do drugs, maybe self-harm, just what is the root of the core, maybe something happened to you in your childhood, a traumatic death, something traumatic. But anyways, so Chantel comes on YouTube each week and each day, and it's, I can't do this, I'm sad, I'm struggling with this, and once in a blue moon, she'll mention going to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and she is on medicine, so she says. Not to be mean and throw no shade, but I really have a hard time believing much of what she says because it's such just a vicious cycle, and it's like, it really takes a lot, I guess what I'm saying is, to beat the books and really dig into your inner core and really work on what is going on, or it's just going to be a reoccurring thing. You're going to relapse, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, whether it's addiction. You're just going to constantly relapse until you figure out what the root of the problem is. So it took me many years to figure this out. Like I said, each week I go to counseling, go to therapy. I've done group counseling, group meetings. I'm in a ton of programs, and I get it. That's not everybody's thing. I just had, I'm not pushing this on anybody. I'm just saying what, helped me. What made me kind of see what triggered the activities that I did, or, the self-harm that I did, to really changing it around and really leaving all that in the past and moving on with a better life. I got through a point in the mid-2000s where I didn't leave my house for a year at all. My roommate would go get my food. I would give her money to go get my hygiene. I just simply had anxiety and panic attacks that I did not leave my house. I mean, it was horrifying. One day if she comes over, she, lives a couple hours away, but maybe, if you guys are interested, I'll make a video on explaining, all that and how I changed it around. But I genuinely did not leave. It's called agoraphobia, when you're afraid to leave your house. So I got to the point, it's like, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. I don't have a life. Like, I'm losing all my friends. Nobody understands me. I'm not going to family functions. I'm doing things I couldn't, that I shouldn't be doing. I just was really to the point that I didn't want to live anymore, and I was just falling apart. So it took years and years. It was like I'd be fine for a while, then I'd go in a downward spiral. I'd be fine for a while, then I'd go in a downward spiral. And it just got to the point, it's like probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, that I'm like, I can't do it anymore. I'm going to die out here. Something's going to happen. Like, I'm tired of living. I am going to die. Like, I am tired of everything. I'm sick of it was terrible. Like, I had no motivation. Like, I just literally hated myself and hated life. And I'm like, this is no way to live. Like, this sucks. Like, people were mad around me, my friends. It's like, come with me. Let's do this. Like, I literally just sat and just, like, sulked in my own sorrow. And that's, what I'm getting at is how to change that all around. So I had to finally one day, it was like I was just like falling back into that. Like, I would do good, then I would do bad, and it's like, I can't take this anymore. I cannot take it anymore. Like, I just couldn't. I'm like, I'm losing out on life. I have no life. Everything's crappy. I have nothing. I have no one. Like, I'm not talking like stuff. I'm talking like emotions and feelings. Like, I just was so far down that I'm like, this sucks. Like, I don't want to turn to drugs and alcohol. I don't want everyone around me to, feel some sort of way because, I don't want to go anywhere with them, or I don't want to do anything, or I miss out on functions. So one day I was just so far just down. I was like, you know what do I do? Do I go to the hospital? Do I go to like a mental health clinic? Something's got to give here. Like something has genuinely got to give. I cannot continue to live like this. So I went to a mental health clinic, filled out an assessment, answered some questions, and I'm like, you know what? They're not going to, if they call me back, whatever. It was like I filled out a whole freaking thing of paperwork, and I'm like, okay, great. This, makes me feel good. Like, okay, I'm still going home, feeling like a disaster. So anyway, so I get a call back. And they're like, cool, we can get you in. We can get in, to a doctor, a therapist. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's get the ball rolling. So at first, I kind of like, I'm like, sorry, like this chair is. Okay, so I'm like, I kind of like tried to, like play the program a little bit. Like, give it a little bit of effort. It's not working. This kind of really isn't, long story short, I just wasn't giving it my all. I was still kind of like getting a little bit better, but I wasn't like, I was still sad, and I was still like, kind of dibbling, let's just say I had a problem with opiates. That was kind of my forte. So, if I would get a buzz, it'd be like, oh, I'm good again, like everything's cool, and then it's like, you can't keep going on like that. It was like I would feel, one way, like, okay, like I'm good now, then I'm clean for a minute, and I'm like, I am so sick of living like this. So finally it was just like, okay, I got sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I started giving the program my all. I started going to appointments each week. I started, opting just like, okay, I'm going to put my all into this. Going to group meetings we had at the place that I go to still currently, seeing a doctor, seeing my psychiatrist, seeing a therapist. I mean, there for a minute it was like my whole freaking every week was like, okay, it got tedious, but as time progressed, I started seeing a change in myself. It was like I started doing things that I liked again. I started putting more effort into things I liked, messing with my makeup again, taking care of myself. Like, when you have depression and severe anxiety and depression, you don't care about anything, anyone. Like, nothing of that matters. Like, I didn't care about anything. Like, I just, like, was like, Lord, please let me get through each day. Like, I lost interest in everything that I loved. Like, I quit talking to some of my friends. Like, I just became in this little, like, hermit shell of myself. So I started going to these appointments, and I didn't want a doctor that was like, try this medicine, here, eat this, Obviously, as a recovering addict, I don't want any pills. I don't want any medicine to have to depend on something. All those medicines have side effects, and I'm not knocking anyone. Listen to me. I'm not knocking anyone that's on medicine. It just wasn't right for me. Some of the side effects would give me anxiety more. Some of the depression anxiety would crank up, some of the depression meds would crank up my anxiety more. And it just wasn't for me. Like, I have insomnia, so some of the stuff would make me stay up longer. I also have, narcolepsy, which thank God I just figured that out, because I thought the depression, which, you do sleep more with depression and, don't have a lot of energy. But long story short, I became, figured out I was narcoleptic. That's a whole nother video, a whole nother subject. But anyways, what I'm getting into is medicine wasn't the right route for me. And I'm not knocking anybody. I have friends that's on medicine, it just wasn't. I didn't want that, here, try this, eat this, let's, prescribe you this. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this with no meds. There's no magic pill out there. There's no magic surgery, I guess, what I'm getting to in this, quadrant of what I'm saying is, I think that Chantel looks for a quick fix per se, a magic pill, a magic diet, a magic surgery. There's none of that. You have to do the work. You have to put in the time and effort. I take home these things every week. Dealing with anxiety and PTSD, social support, self-monitoring, behavioral. I mean, it just goes on and on. She'll read stuff, papers to her viewers. You are not a health professional. You cannot give other people advice when you are struggling yourself. That's one problem that I have with Chantel. She'll read things and she'll get on in Google and find different documentaries. It's like you cannot be giving people advice when you're not a mental health or a, physical doctor. You're obviously, and this is no shade or nothing. I'm just saying this is one of the problems that and pet peeves that I have with Chantel. Chantel, but what I'm saying is I take this stuff home, I read it. I don't read this to you guys because I know you're here for the makeup. You're here for the food reviews. You're here for me. I'm not a health professional to give you advice. I'm working on myself. Now, can I tell you what helps me? Most definitely. If any of you ever need help and are struggling, I'm here for you guys 100%. If you ever need to text or talk, shoot me a message, shoot me a comment. I'm here. If you're struggling with addiction or anything like that, I can give you advice, tell you what helped for me, but really what I'm saying is the root down lies is you have to help yourself. There is no quick fix. There is no doctor. There's no magic wand. There's nothing that, you have to get to the root of the problem. That's my biggest thing. And then it's like, I read the comments on here and it's like, she blocks people, she deletes people, a slew of channels that I watch, she absolutely hates and striked. Zachary Michael, for instance, great channel, check him out if you've never seen him. He does some commentary, some reactions. She struck Zachary Michael. Thank God, the strike got lifted. But it seems that YouTube Underground, there was a strike and it was lifted. Another great channel I watch. Willow Davis, awesome guy. These channels don't pat her on the tail and say, oh, you're doing good. Go ahead, eat that. Or they give their blunt advice. Some better than others per se, but a lot of them do give, their advice and say, go about this way or, wrong move, sis, as Zachary Michael would say, Michael B. Petty and stuff. Like another great channel. He has changed his life around also. And it's just truly, amazing. And it's like, you'd think she would just, look at some of these and it's like, it seems like if, you're not in her little group or, one of her supporters that you're a hater, as Amberlynn read, or I read her just Chantel say in one of the comments to somebody that was commentating. And, she basically says, you don't know nothing about me. You don't know nothing about, my diagnosis. I'm not going to, you're twisting my words around. No, the person was just literally, and I wish I had their permission to read the comment, the viewer that commented, but it seems that she gets mad if somebody gives their blunt opinion, their blunt truth on how they feel. Some of these people, they're not being rude when they say it. They just simply state, hey, I've been through this too, such and such, maybe try this, and it's like, you're a hater. Blocked, oh, you don't know nothing about me, and then it's just a group of people her following attacking them. It's just silly, and I guess that's why I'm making this video, because I'm tired of that. It's like, people have their opinions. No matter good, bad, how you take it, this platform, everybody has a voice. Everybody has an opinion. That's what is great about this platform is, you can go on here and say, well, I think, this is the best dry hair spray, or I think this is the best, perfume, just as an example, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's the cool thing with this is there's, a channel about everything, it's just a little bit everywhere. And, so basically what I'm getting to, it's like, these girls just, it's, oh, I got to use my mental health as a crutch, or I can't do this because, or, well, I can't do this because of this. There's no quick fix. You have to work on you. There's no magic pill, no, magic surgery. Amberlynn is another one. It's like, well, I can't do this because of this. No, just try. Try. It doesn't hurt to try. And if you're not going to simply try and you don't want to try, then say you're not a weight loss channel. Don't give weight loss and nutrition and health advice because, not to be mean, but you clearly have no idea what you're talking about. It's like me, saying like, oh, well, I know you feel bad today, so go ahead and have a beer. Go ahead and do some drugs. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. You have to figure it out and you have to try. And if you don't want to try, then say you're not a weight loss channel. But don't pretend you're in the weight loss category and, you want to, about mental health and nutrition and weight loss. There's no weight, loss. It's only weight gain. You're not a doctor. You're not a therapist. You're not a psychiatrist, so everybody's a right to their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Sorry, I keep looking down. I had, some notes, but, I wanted to look at, but, another thing, it's like, today's video was like, oh, well, I'm tired again and I'm depressed again. What do I do when I'm depressed? I just lay in bed and binge watch, this television series or movie series or whatever. That's not going to get you anywhere. Believe me, I figured it out. If anybody figured it out, I did. Let me tell you. You have to, go to your appointments, go to these things, but there's no magic pill. I know I've said that a million times in this video and it's probably, getting annoying, but there's no magic surgery. There's no doctor. That you have to put the work in yourself is what I'm saying. Stop making excuses for everything. Like, it all starts within you. It's nobody's fault. It's no doctor's fault. It's no diet's fault. Like, it starts within you. Do you want to live a better life? Do you want to change? Do you want to have a great life? Do you want to be successful in life? Like, I'm not saying as far as working. I mean, just whatever you want to do, whatever your niche is. If you want to be a beekeeper, I don't know where that came from, but if you want to do makeup, whatever I used to be a chef, like, whatever your thing, like an actual, sous chef, like, not, like I worked in a real live kitchen. So, on that note, we're going to make a 180 here with this one. Where this comes into play is, so, I notice a lot of the times in Amberlynn, comment section, that she says she doesn't have health insurance and she hasn't had health insurance. Now, don't quote me, but I'm going to show you guys a little something that to me makes that seem a little bit fishy. And maybe she doesn't now because she probably makes more than what she used to when she first started. But I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to show you... this is why I wonder, does Amber literally have health insurance? And it's just a, another excuse why she doesn't go, that it's too expensive to get some of this stuff done and go. Now, back to a couple minutes ago, just recently, what I just said. So I used to be a sous chef in a really nice restaurant, and I worked in the kitchen as a sous chef, like I said. So I made decent money, but not the greatest. You got to kind of climb the ladder. When I first started, I was a prep cook, and then, I climbed up to a sous chef, etc. I worked my way up in the kitchen. So at the beginning, I wasn't making very much money in the beginning. So when Obamacare first rolled around, I was like, okay, if I don't have insurance, they're going to take care, they're going to take so much out on my taxes. It was a thing a while back, years and years, when Obama was, that they would take so much out of your taxes if you didn't have health insurance. Well, I needed health insurance anyway, so I thought, you know what, okay, Let's take so much out per check. I can get my eyes checked, get a little dental work, and yes, before you come for me in this video, because I know a lot of her followers, they gun for her, honey. She does have a following, and my channel is nowhere a tiny size of a pea. And I love my followers. We are a small little community, but honey, everybody gets along, everybody's respectful, so I would take that over a million gazillion followers. So, I decided to buy health insurance. And yes, I have crappy teeth. I know that. I have a giant overbite. Yeah, I know that. Okay, I get it. My teeth, I have an overbite. My whole jaw would have to be broken. It would be thousands and thousands of dollars. Believe me, I've looked into it. So, before you come for me in the comments, yes, I know my teeth are crappy and ugly. So, anyways, what we're getting at, though, we're not getting so. See these glasses here. Do these look familiar? Anyone? These glasses are health, and listen to me. I'm not knocking because I have these glasses too. I have tons of glasses now, but these glasses at the time I had to have. Matter of fact, we're going to put these pups on. Well, no, we're not because the glare is... Anyway, so what I'm getting at... Sorry, I'm like beating around the bush. So, these glasses Amberlynn Reed wore a couple years ago in one of her videos. These glasses were glasses that I got, one of my options as having health care. Government health care. So what I'm saying is, guys, the point is that I do think at one point Amberlynn had health care. Do I think that and like I said, this is just my opinion and a theory. Do I think maybe she picked these glasses, and maybe these glasses are what she likes? But I have tons and tons of glasses now. Let's find them here. Tons and tons of glasses, you know. And I'm not, like I said, you know, throwing any sort of shade, but those were not the glasses that I wanted. Those are preferred, but those were my options time. Dolce & Gabbana. I mean, now I got glasses for days. And like I said, I'm not knocking, but what I'm saying is, I don't think that if Amberlynn had, and maybe like I said, she may have picked these glasses. Maybe these were ones she wanted. But what I'm getting at is, these glasses were an option I had when I had health care from the government that I paid portions out of my check for. So, guys, on that note, what I think is, I think that in one point Amberlynn had health insurance. She just doesn't want to go. She's being another Chantel, full of excuses, finding reasons. You know, I don't have the money, health insurance, but yet, you know, she's got a bazillion bathroom body works. Excuse me. Candles, honey, for days. Notebooks, you know, I'm, you know, a notebook connoisseur and a candle connoisseur too, but believe me, I do have glasses, I do have health care now, I do have appropriate shoes, you know. I stated, you know, today, Amber had a video where she was walking around the yard, and, it's just sad that somebody can walk, you know, excuse me, 2.5, 3 minutes, and they're proud of that. I am so sorry. You know, it's weird as we always try something to drink and we always review drinks. So, it's weird that I don't have something to drink. Excuse me. Goodness. So, what I'm getting at, though, is... oh my gosh, you guys. I am so sorry. Okay. What I'm getting at is, I do think at one time Amber had insurance. I just don't think she wants to go. Maybe she's scared to go, like she said. But you know what? I hate going to the doctor, too. I have a phobia of it. And finally, I just had to buck up and say, you know, I want to change my life. I want something better for myself. I don't want to feel like this always. I don't want to let down, others around me, and, my sadness protrude onto them, because it does, it's like Becky, wants to do different things. She said Becky's her girlfriend, and, Becky wants to do different things, hiking and things she mentioned, and, Amber just simply can't do those things right now. And, I commented, today, buy some tennis shoes. She wears little dress flats, and I wish I had a pair to show you guys, but, dress flats are not meant for going for a jog or going for a walk. They are simply little dress shoes. Oh my gosh, you guys, sorry. Dress shoes are like something you wear with a little dress, go to the grocery store, but they're not meant for activity. They give your feet no support. Like, I'm looking around trying to show you guys the perfect example, but I can't find anything. But anyways, long story short, I wish these ladies all the best of luck, and it can be done. It genuinely, all of it can be done. And I'm a prime example and a, example of it. If you really want to change your life, it can be done. If you really want to turn yourself around, and, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I don't deal with this stuff all the time still, excuse me, because I do. But if you want to better yourself and get on a better track, I'll always have clinical depression forever, but I choose one to deal with it rather than it dealing with me. And it took me a long time to figure that out. So, all right, everyone. On that note, I hope I didn't offend any of you, because that's not what this video was for. If you just came across my channel, subscribe. Join the community. It's a small one, but it's great. Everyone gets along. I do food reviews. I do drink reviews. I do lots of Starbucks. I love me Starbucks. Everybody knows that. I do shopping. I do a little bit of stuff. I go outside with my pool, wine testings, wine tastings. Just literally my channel is all over the place. So check out some of my other videos. I go to dog events, dog shows. I got a French bulldog in a pit. So if you like dogs, that's another thing on my channel. But hit that subscribe button. Excuse me. Hit that like button and comment, share. Thank you so much for watching. I wasn't, like I said, trying to trigger anyone or make fun of anyone. Like I said, I deal with this too, so I don't want to keep you guys forever, but listen here. You can do it. You can change your life, but it all starts with getting up, doing it, getting some help with the inner core. You can go to a doctor millions of times, but you have to put in the work. There's no magic pill. There's no magic surgery or doctor. So, on that note, guys, have a great night. Thanks for watching again. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and Kaya out. Thanks for watching.